I'm Don Poyer with Jim Hendrick. We have waited the afternoon, and it's time for the final. All the turbines are in it. The top 5 boats, including Todd Yarling. The Budweiser, obviously, the boat to beat. A perfect day for the Bud, likewise for the Miller, point-wise. Jerry Hopp will be one of the drivers here in the final in Thor Racing. Also joining him, as I said, Todd Yarling in the Pocket Savers Plus. One of the turbine drivers, Scotty Pierce in the Mr. Pringles.
Naturally, this is it. I mean, how you finish is how you do for the day. So hopefully we can pull a win out for the first ever for Pringles. We have a good shot at it, I think.
Hoping to have a say about that, Chip Hanauer in the improved Miller American.
We needed a bit of luck and a good performance out of the Miller American and myself, and we'll take what it brings us.
And everybody is gunning for this man, Jim Kropfeld and the Budweiser.
I'm worried more about the elements than anything else. The water's rough, the wind's blowing, and this turn right here is just horrendous. So it's going to be a hang on and hope you finish type heat.
For the final, a 5-boat field. And there's the rundown. 3 of them turbines, 2 of them piston engines. And here they come, the Budweiser to mod lane number 3. He might be a little early. You saw it. He was past the buoy when the gun went off. We'll have to wait for an official report. But look at the acceleration on the part of the Budweiser. An incredible boat. It is raising hydroplane racing to another level. In second place, Scotty Pierce in the Mr. Pringles, and in third place, the Miller American, but we have not gotten official word yet if the Budweiser jumped the gun. If that was the case, then the Pringles would be on top, and that would be your 5th place boat. The Budweiser coming down the straightaway. Looks like the water settled down a little bit as they go past the Detroit Yacht Club and into the tight second turn. One reason for a 5-boat field, because of the narrowness going into that second turn past the Yacht Club. Simply not enough room for 6 big unlimited boats. All right, we now have official word. The Budweiser did indeed jump the gun. Jim Kropfeld obviously will be unhappy with himself because he knows he has a superior machine. But that is the first place boat, the Mr. Pringles. The Budweiser then in 5th. First place, Mr. Pringles, Scott Pierce. He has only 1 victory to his credit back in 1985. One of the younger drivers on the circuit, Todd Yarling, is in 3rd place, and Jerry Hopp in 4th with the Budweiser at number 5. 3rd place again is Todd Yarling. The Budweiser has been penalized 1 lap. 1 lap for jumping the gun. And this now is the race for first place. The Mr. Pringles in Scott Pierce out of Seattle. A fellow Seattle native right behind him is the Miller American on the outside. That boat not running as well as they wanted to be running. Of course, Hanauer would love to be competing with the Budweiser, and eventually I'm sure he will. Bernie Little, what can you say? He knows his man had jumped the gun, but there will be other races, and they still have a commanding lead in the national points race. Scott Pierce now has to concern himself with this man, Chip Hanauer, who is less than a rooster tail away on the outside. He had trouble starting the engine for the final heat, that being Hanauer. He may have lost a little power as a result. In 4th place, check that, 3rd place is Todd Yarling in the Pocket Savers Plus. Scott Pierce now trying to use all the course, hugging the apex buoy, going wide in the straightaways to make Hanauer go even farther. 4th place is Jerry Hopp in the Thor Racing, and at number 5 is the Budweiser, creeping around trying to lap some of the field and gain more points. I don't think you'll ever catch this boat. No way, that being the Mr. Pringles, but the Miller American, the rooster tail spray to Chip Hanauer's left of the Mr. Pringles. He is stalking Scotty Pierce. Budweiser, number 5, physically in 1st, but not today. After crossing the starting line too soon, Kropfeld penalized 1 lap. And now Scott Pierce. The limelight is on him. He is the man now. He could possibly get his 2nd career victory, the first time in Miami. Oddly enough, he jumped the gun and was penalized for jumping the gun in an earlier heat in Miami when he went on to get the victory. Maybe it'll happen here in Detroit. Pierce looking to the left, trying to find that man, Chip Hanauer, who is now cut into lane number 1 here on the 4th lap. They're just completing the final lap. And Hanauer has decided to go on the inside. Let's see what happens now as they go into the turn. Pierce now has about a 6-boat lead, and he is able to go into lane number 1. If he does, that should shut the door on the Miller American. Scotty Pierce going after victory number 2. Nothing but water as you wait for the Miller American on the inside, as you can see. And there it is. There's your race for the championship here in Detroit for 1987. And he's done it. As you can see, the Miller-American now going to the outside. Scotty Pierce has shut the door on the Miller-American, and all he has to do now is keep that boat running, complete this, the final lap, and he'll have victory number 2, and the first ever victory for the Mr. Pringles and Duncan Hines. Scott Pierce around the Rooster Tail turn for the last time. He'll get it. He'll get the 400 points. Second place will go to the Miller-American, and Scotty Pierce has won in Detroit in 1987. Second place, Miller-American. Chip Hanauer, a winner here in 4 of the last 5 years, and the Budweiser goes past the Pocket Savers Plus. He'll get third place. But the winner today, the spotlight on Mr. Pringles and Scotty Pierce. 925 points, a great day for Pierce and Company, Miller-American. Then the Budweiser getting third place at the line, Pocket Savers Plus, and the Thor Racing. Down to the winner's circle.
Scotty, congratulations. This is amazing. We were just talking about 85. You jumped the gun in the first heat of the day, then you win. This is a nice omen.
I'm not crying this time, I guess.
Here's Jamie, their daughter. Oh, my goodness, Jamie, get in here.
I'll tell you, though, in all seriousness, I mean, the Pringles boat ran great, and I'm real proud, but I'd like to dedicate this one to Steve Reynolds and a nice, healthy recovery. And I know that Steve, if he was here, he would have given me all I was worth, just like Chip was. Well, the kid was running. I had to work for this one, but we're real proud, and it's our first win for Pringles, and I hope we have many more.
What do you think, Jamie? That's what I thought, too. He's
She's
pretty
a happy
goofy.
camper. She's a happy camper.
All right, we'll be back. Jamie, let's say it together. We'll be back right after this.
Well, we have come to the end of a very hot, muggy day here in Detroit. A typical race in Detroit. The river was unforgiving. Hot weather, as we said, the threat of thunderstorms, but some very good racing in the final heat. And in a sense, in terms of the point race and everything else, it's nice to see the Pringles win the race.
Yes, and we're sitting aboard the Pringles here, and we're right in the cockpit. You can see there is no canopy, but that's soon to come for Scotty Pierce and this Pringles team, and I'm really glad to see that by rules of the racing and the breaks of racing, they won. And I think it's pretty good for the sport. And Bernie Little said a little while ago, I saw him hugging Scotty Pierce, the driver, and said, "You deserve that win." And I thought that was very good sportsmanship on Bernie's part.
Now this, as we look ahead, is an interesting time of the year. As you know, we get done in the east. Now we go out west to that lightning fast course out in Tri-Cities on the Columbia River in Washington State.
And I talked to Jim Cropfield, a Budweiser driver who set a record here in Detroit course, 150.8 earlier this week. And he said that's the one where he remembers Chip Hanauer got 153 plus. And he sees 155 for Budweiser out there. We'll have to hold our breath.
Okay. It's good racing out there, especially. It's been great here, but you really see all the boats pick it up even more, about 10 miles per hour. Well, for Jim Hendrick, I'm Don Foyer. That's it from Detroit, and we'll see you out from the West Coast in just a couple of weeks. So long, everybody. If you'd like a copy of the Unlimited Hydroplane Press Guide, send $4.95 to the Unlimited Racing Commission, 414 Pontius Avenue North, Seattle, 98109. Air transportation provided by Continental, the official airlines of the Unlimited Racing season for 1987. Columbia Crest Winery brings you the 1987 Unlimited Hydroplane Series. Sponsored by Ford. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Household Finance Corporation, America's #1 financial services company. And by U-Haul International. Rent it all at U-Haul Centers.